I wish I had some imaginary popcorn. You know what I kind of wish that I had?
Popcorn?
No.
Oh.
I have that in the kitchen. I can walk in there and make some popcorn after this.
A Kit Kat.
No, that's just one of my nicknames that people used to call me.
Crunch Bar.
No.
Junior Mints.
You are not getting closer.
Cotton candy.
It's something that I haven't had in a long time, and yes, it is super sugary, and I probably wouldn't eat that many of them, but like, yeah.
Sour Patch Kids.
Okay, you're, think crackery.
Crackery?
Yeah, crackery.
Crackery?
Yes, crackers. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flip the Scripts. I'm Ankit and Madhira.
And I'm Stephen Nieman.
And this time we are talking about the second book in the Hunger Games series, and we are starting to talk about Catching Fire.
Yeah, so really excited to do Flip the Scripts again. We are live, as you can see. If you watched the last 4 episodes of Flip the Scripts, we went digital for a bit.
Sorry, guys. I went home to see my family.
How dare you?
Well, I mean, it's better than what you're about to do.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So welcome to Catching Fire. Catching Fire will be over 2 episodes like normal. And Mockingjay Part 1, which we will get to eventually, will be digital. So welcome to Catching Fire.
Yeah, and by eventually, I mean we're literally going to be talking about Mockingjay. At least the first film. We don't know how much of the first film, but we're going to be talking about it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, Catching Fire. That's what we're here to talk about. Some fun facts about Catching Fire.
I'm always down for your fun facts, Ankit.
Are you ready? Here
This
we go.
This is a segment we like to call Ankit's Fun Facts.
I mean, they're not really always that fun. Sometimes they're very straightforward facts. This is one of those times. They're not the funnest of fun facts, but facts.
Facts.
So 2009.
With a little pizzazz on it.
Well,
Facts with pizzazz.
Oh, facts with pizzazz.
You have to add the pizzazz.
Oh, what if I don't add the pizzazz?
Well, then we're sad, and Sebastien can't edit non-pizzazz.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. I will add the pizzazz. So,
too much pizzazz. Just kidding. Go.
asshole. I did what you wanted me to do.
I know. I'm sorry. If we don't, we're never going to get through this book, guys.
Guys, I'm really sorry for this. All right, so 2009 book by Suzanne Collins. The movie came out November 11th, 2013 at the Odeon in Leicester Square.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact about that, I saw John Cena there recently.
At the Odeon in Leicester Square.
Yeah, literally 2 weeks ago. When did my friend sleep on our couch?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Is that the one with the Batman on top of it?
That would be Leicester Square.
Yeah, but the Batman's on top of the Odeon.
Yes.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, that would be the one.
Cool.
It's a fun one. Did you know that it's not only Batman in that square though?
No, I know. There's a bunch of figures.
Yeah. So, fun fact for anyone not from or in or knows things about London. I guess.
Like I said, Ankit's Fun Facts.
Leicester Square, hey, it all ties together. Leicester Square is just kind of like the capital entertainment-ish capital, kind of like the Times Square of New York, but less Times Square-y and less obnoxious, but still obnoxious.
Very.
Yeah. So, but they have a bunch of different characters all around the park. So, you have Paddington Bear sitting on a bench. You have Harry Potter flying on his wand. You have Mary Poppins. You have Charlie Chaplin. You have a lot of different ones. I'm sure I'm missing some, but that's...
Mr. Bean.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Bean is also sitting on a bench.
Yeah. I would also say Batman is on top of the Odeon, which is why I mentioned Batman specifically.
Yeah.
And it's Christian Bale's Batman, we believe. We had an argument about it. We were kind of just trying to decide whether it was Bale or Michael Keaton's Batman.
I don't know Batman that well to know the difference.
At least it's not Val Kilmer or George Clooney. There were no bat nipples. We don't appreciate bat nipples on this podcast.
But at the same time, Stephen...
No bat nipples.
But at the
no
same
bat
time,
nipples.
Stephen, it's on top of a large building. Did you have binoculars?
I'm not going to binoculars a Batman to see if it has bat nipples.
But I'm just saying, there's a chance unless You have truly done the research.
Go back to Catching Fire.
Okay, so Catching Fire. November 22nd, 2013, it came out to the rest of the US and the world. The budget for the film was 130 to 140 million US dollars.
Ooh.
The box office, do you want to take a guess?
Ooh.
I will give
Somewhere
you a
in the
hint.
400 range? 400,000?
400,000 million? Is that what you're thinking? Like, what do you mean by 400,000?
4 million?
Buddy, I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
The box office is more than the budget.
What was the budget? Sorry.
Oh, good to know you're listening.
Yeah.
140 million US dollars.
Okay. I'm going to say they earned 400 million.
Okay. How confident are you in that guess?
Not very. You're asking me on the spot. I just came up with a number.
Sure.
I was like, they broke even. That's good enough for me. They made a sequel. They had to have at least break even. Keep in mind, when we get the projection of what they spent on the film, that does not include PR cost.
We're solely going off of the Wikipedia page, budget, and box office.
Usually
numbers.
when they have the budget, we understand they spend more than that. And like you have to at least times your budget by 2 in Hollywood to make your money. At least that was the rate back in 2013. It's a lot different now if you're looking at budgets and
It's
box
11
office.
years later, Steven.
No, I know. Inflation. But back then it was 2 times you make your money back.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm like 400 million. I know they made their money back because they made a sequel.
Fair. It made 865 million US dollars.
I was just off by like 4 million.
By more than half.
Fair. Hey, that's not bad.
Oi,
And that's
you double what you guessed, and you're still off by potentially someone's life earnings times 10.
Is that the global box office as well?
Look, Wikipedia gives me one number for the box office. I'm assuming it's global. Am I doing more research than Wikipedia? No. Should I be? Maybe, but that's a discussion for later. More fun facts. The director, Francis Lawrence. Don't know what else he directed. I feel like I should have looked that up.
Jesus.
Give me a second. Hold on. I promise I am better at my job than this. I just didn't write it down. All right, Francis Lawrence. I'm on his IMDb page. I had IMDb pulled up. Like, don't worry, we're good. So, Francis Lawrence, some of the things that he is known for is the Hunger Games series. So, after Catching Fire, he continues to direct both of the Mockingjay films, and he does do the new one, as you had brought up recently that he might be.
Songbird and Snakes.
It's Songbirds.
Fair.
There are multiple birds.
And multiple
words
snakes.
are hard, Steve.
Words are hard.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah. Also, he replaces Gary Ross, who, if you watched last week, you understand why Ankit and I didn't really enjoy Gary Ross as much.
Yeah. So, he is also famous for Slumberland.
Horror films?
Yeah, Lady Gaga Bad Romance music video. That's apparently on here.
No way.
I'm not joking, dude. Look at this.
No wonder he was good at directing the Capitol scenes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
So he did that. Oh, he is the director of I Am Legend. He is also the director of Constantine. So he does have some fun stuff. He has a lot of music videos. Honestly, I think I might know if I ever get to a point where I can film a music video with someone. He's worked with a lot of cool people who I just would want to say that I've also worked with this guy.
Fair.
I mean, also, like, I'd love to be in one of your films. I enjoy your film work. So, anyway.
You do good. What's his name? Again? One more time?
Steven.
It's been a long day.
Francis Lawrence.
Francis. Can I call you Frank? Yeah, did a good job, Frank.
No, his name is Francis.
Frank.
It's Francis.
Frank.
This is reminding me of a puppet show that I do when I'm entertaining kids at kids' birthday parties. It's frickin' Francis.
Okay, frickin' Francis. Thank you for directing this film.
Thanks. So the writers are Simon Buffo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong.
Please be French.
It may possibly also be Simon Buffo. I don't know how to pronounce things.
Words are hard, everybody. Words are hard.
We also have someone else who can't make their name easy to pronounce. Then again, I'm not really one to complain. Although mine is fairly straightforward. It is fairly phonetic.
I mean, not according to the directors at yesterday's reading. Just to be clear, everyone, Ankit and I were in a show last weekend, doing 2 different scenes, mind you, and his director called Ankit's name, and basically the guy who's in charge of it has known Ankit for how long?
I don't know. Tom and I have known each other for a while.
And he thought Ankit's name was something different.
Yeah.
He pronounced it wrong.
He pronounced it very wrong. And then I was like, well, it's actually pronounced Ankit. And he was like, how long have I known you? Why do I feel like everything is a lie? And I was just like, cause it is. And then I did a scene.
It's also, I mean, maybe because I know you. It's not that hard to pronounce your name.
It's fair. I mean, like, I understand how they would pronounce it the way that they have been pronouncing it.
The British way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the second writer, that's where we're at. Wow, it has been a while. Okay, here we go. So, the second writer, Michael Arndt. Look, it's spelled Arndt. I am set up for failure.
Arndt. Yeah.
Arndt.
Michael.
We'll call him Michael.
Michael and Simon,
and then Suzanne Collins, who was a part of the team, but she took a big step back. It was just like she just approved the script.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Like she just had to like give approval, but like she didn't actually do much of the writing from what I could tell.
So as we talked about last week in the podcast, if you had watched last week, the link's in the description down below. But basically, Ankit and I were talking about how Suzanne Collins was a big part of the writers' team for the first film, and whether that helped the film or hindered the film. And now we get to see Suzanne taking a step back. Does that help the film or hinder the film?
Let's find out, but before we do, some quick ratings. The IMDb rating is a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Respectable. Rotten Tomatoes. Critic score, 90%. Audience score, 89%.
Not bad.
Not bad. Shall we begin with the film?
So just to kind of catch you guys up, Hunger Games Catching Fire immediately follows the events of the last book, The Hunger Games, again by Suzanne Collins. Katniss Everdeen, who won the Hunger Games in the last book, spoiler alert, she won with Peeta Mellark. The Capitol is pissed, as we said in the last episode. If you haven't watched the last episode, go watch the last episode, then come back. So now they're going to go on a victory tour, and things are going to happen. And it's the Quarter Quell. So every 25 years, the Hunger Games does a special Hunger Games to celebrate 25 years since the rebellion. So this is going to be the 75th year of the Hunger Games. And Katniss and Peeta, who are victors, have to go on a tour. And they might have to mentor some new people in the games. Will that happen? Stay tuned to find out the rest of the plot if you haven't seen the film already.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the film and you don't want spoilers, pause, go watch it, come back.
I would say our podcast is still enjoyable if you haven't seen the film or read the book. But after you listen to us, if you want to watch the film or read the book, we highly encourage it.
That is fair. You don't have to pause. Yeah, I do think that we do a fairly good job. But be forewarned, there are going to be spoilers. So if you don't want the spoilers, hit that pause button.
So here we are, Hunger Games, Catching Fire. Do 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 do. That's the song, by the way. That is the theme song of the Hunger Games. Ankit can do the whistle. I can't. So
Steven's untalented.
I will hit you with my shoe.
I look forward to the time when he says that, but physically can't.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't.
You'll understand in a bit. So here we are At the beginning of the film, Katniss Everdeen, the girl who was on fire, is in the forest in District 12.
Woo.
So Katniss is in the forest hunting for her daily things. Katniss, basically, if you win the Hunger Games, just kind of a quick explanation, so Ankit and I can get this out of the way. This film and book series are pretty close together. They don't skip a lot of things, so most of the things we complain about are very nitpicky. There are a few things that they have skipped from the book to film adaptation that we will talk about and get very impassioned about. But for the most part, most of the things kind of happen the same in both book and film.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
We'll get that out of the way now. Compared to our Percy Jackson series where we got really angry because there was major changes.
It just wasn't the same.
We'll have some minor changes to talk about here or there. But we do have a couple major changes, and I think this is the first time we've had major changes in a Hunger Games. We didn't have a lot of major changes in the last one.
We had major changes in this one? What were the major changes?
We'll get there.
I feel like I should know what the major changes are, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll get there.
Why do I not know? Okay, fine.
It's more like omissions.
Oh, fine. All right. Moving on.
So Katniss and Peeta, basically, if you win the games, you're set for life. You
Yay!
have unlimited money. Well, maybe not unlimited money because the Capitol don't want to give you that.
They do give you a lot of money, though.
Yes. Just an explanation of where we are. This is still Pan Am. This is a North America country that is post the United States. There are 12 districts that all specialize in something great. We're in District 12, which specializes in coal mining. And there's a Hunger Games. All districts fight each other. Winner gets to go home. Everyone else dies. 24 tributes. And there's a capital that's basically Colorado. Cool? That good?
Yeah.
Anything else I miss?
No.
Cool. So Katniss Everdeen doesn't really need to hunt, but here she is in the forest hunting.
I did say, they had her hunt for a while.
Yeah.
Like, we don't see this much hunting in the book.
In the book, she doesn't really hunt to eat anymore as she did in the first book / first film.
Because now she can feed herself and her family.
She hunts for the sake of Gale, her best friend, her closest friend. So Gale and Katniss are hunting together. Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
No, that's a serious question because I'm still confused.
What are you confused about?
Everything.
Ankit, love is hard.
Oh, yeah, that I knew.
So Gale and Katniss are hunting together at the start of the film. It's one way they can explain that they only hunt together once a week now. Gale and Katniss barely see each other because now Gale is 18. He is now an adult, and he has to work in the coal mines.
Mm-hmm.
So he works 6 days a week in the coal mines. On his day off, he hunts. Even if you have a job in District 12, it's not enough to pay for a family. Gale's dad is dead, if you don't know. That's not really explained in the film, but in the book, we know his dad is dead. We know Cass's dad is dead, and they both died in the same coal mining accident. Gale's from the scene. Katniss is from the scene. Gale has 3 brothers and a mom that get taken care of by Katniss.
For context, friends, they're close, and they help each other out. Gale can no longer hunt as much because he has to work in the mines.
Yeah. So Katniss is hunting with Gale. Katniss is shooting random birds.
Yeah, she almost shoots Gale.
That's true as well. And then she shoots an arrow and it hits Marvel. So they bring Marvel back from the first film to die again.
Hey, that actor had 1 job but 2 credits.
I'll give him credit. He's also the lead character in The Boys.
Oh, is that who Marvel is?
Yeah.
Also, I've seen like 1 episode of The Boys and just didn't get past episode 1
Oh,
or like 2.
You're terrible. It's so good.
Look, what else is new? Continue.
Everyone flame Ankit in the comments for not watching The Boys.
If literally, like, just look at the other podcast I do. You can flame me for not watching most things.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, it's not impressive to flame me for not watching something.
So Gale and Katniss get done hunting. She has a freak out about shooting Marvel. She's kind of having PTSD from the games. It is explained in the book that she's having PTSD, just in a different part.
Yeah, we don't see it now. We learn about it later. I don't mind it now. It's just a change.
It just gets us further ahead into the understanding of where Katniss is at.
Yeah.
So cool with the change.
Cool with the change.
Let's move forward.
Go.
So Katniss and Gale end up getting back in District 12 with all their hunting, wild turkeys and such.
Just wild turkeys.
And Gale kisses Katniss in the open in District 12.
Yeah, I had a problem with this.
Go for it.
They know that they cannot kiss in public because of the whole, Gale's my cousin and I'm in love with Peeta, which is the way that she and Peeta won the games. So Gale knows this. He's not a dum-dum. He's not going to kiss her in the middle of the street in District 12. Where he kisses her in the book makes a lot more sense because he kisses her outside of the fence a little ways out before they come into the fence, like right towards the end of their day. So like he's still like playing it close. He could have kissed her like much deeper into the woods, but he didn't. But like he kisses her outside of the district.
Also, I will say the kiss in the book happens before we start reading the book. So it's kind of a past event where they've made it a present event in the film, which I'm okay with the physical change of a present event.
I'm fine with that because it lets the audience see it.
Exactly.
So it makes sense. Because like otherwise we're just like, what the hell? Like where's the payoff? Like, look, it's satisfying, I guess, when you see two very attractive people kiss.
I will also say...
And, their characters actually have a connection and all, not just two attractive people kiss. That's bad.
Yes. I will also say that Gale and Katniss this is their first kiss, which is not really explained in the film, but it is in the book, as well as it's their only kiss for a while.
As to where I'm at in the series, it's their only kiss. I think it's their only kiss.
No. There's another kiss in the Catching Fire.
Oh, yes, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Anyway, moving on. It's their only kiss for a very long time. So, she gets home.
Also, the idea that Gale's her cousin is only explained in the book. It was an idea to hide from the Capitol to protect Gale.
Yeah.
Because she has to really sell that she's in love with Peeta to the Capitol still. Because they believe that's the only way her and Peeta could live. Because the Capitol is pissed that two people survived the games.
Snow ain't happy.
Snow is not happy. And we see Buttercup. They changed the actor for the cat, and the cat looks amazing. It is Buttercup from the book.
The cat, fantastic. The other cat, not as fantastic.
So well done, Gary Ross. No, sorry.
Is that the name of the cat?
No, sorry. Gary Ross was the old director. The new director. Well done, Frank.
Come on, I even gave you the alliteration.
Florence.
Dude! Oh, how can you forget Francis?
Francis, that's right. Well done.
Don't act like you knew it.
Well done, Francis, for replacing the cat, because you read the book and you know he was supposed to be orange.
Thanks, Francis.
And missing an ear.
Much
And an eye.
appreciated.
I think an eye.
Great, we see a cat. Let's go.
I was just really happy.
Yeah, I put that together.
Katniss then goes into Haymitch's house. We get to see Woody Harrelson again as Haymitch. Brilliant casting.
No complaints. Moving forward.
Katniss pours water on him and wakes him up. It's exactly the same as in the book.
Beautiful. That scene is just fun. Pretty much they know that what we learned during this scene is that it is the day that everyone from the Capitol is coming back to District 12 because it's the day that the victors start going on their victory tour to all the different districts. So that's what's going on. So that's what day it is pretty much what we learn. Haymitch, fantastic, immediately gets woken up and has a knife in his hand ready to kill Katniss. Yeah. Perfect.
I will also say they changed the show time, though, from an hour from like a little bit away. So they were in the morning. It was going to be in the afternoon. Was going to be ready.
Sure.
To just an hour, which I'm like, hey man, just not going to be ready in an hour to go.
It's bold of you to assume Katniss is going to be ready in an hour to go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In the book, just so you all understand, her whole team shows up. Cinna, all the peoples, and they got to get her ready. It takes more than an hour to get Katniss ready.
It takes less time to get Haymitch ready.
True. You just throw Haymitch in a bath, make him a little nice.
He's already got the hair.
They understand he's drunk.
Look, that's just part of his character.
Yeah, that's just who he is.
Yeah.
Then she goes home, and her sister and her mom are freaking out because they have a guest. And she goes into the office and gets dragged to the office by 2 guards, and President Snow is sitting behind the desk.
Woot woot.
President Snow comes all the way to District 12. This is a big deal. From Katniss's recollection, she has never seen President Snow in District 12 ever.
Woot woot.
From us as a reader perspective, we can assume this is probably his first time in District 12 as well.
Woot woot.
Is that it? Woot woot.
That's all I got.
Yeah, President Snow's here. Woot woot. We're so happy that the guy who came up with the Hunger Games guy,
Hey,
the one who wants to watch kids get killed is there.
He didn't come up with the games.
No.
He just thoroughly enjoys them and continues the horrible treachery that his forefathers presented to him.
I mean, we can talk about, when we read Songbird Estates, we could talk about who created the games.
Oh, is that what that book's about? Sure, why not? All right, cool. Anyway, we're talking about President Snow. Woo woo. I'm sorry, that was a bad woo. Woo woo.
When she walks in, he's watching a recap of her games on like a little screen. I thought that was a really cool addition for those who maybe not seen the first film.
Yeah.
Or for those who had seen the first film and just needed a little recap.
Just a quick little reminder, like, hey, welcome, here we are, let's go.
And I think it was the part of the games where she won. I think that's what he was watching when she walked in.
I believe so.
President Snow says the iconic line, "Do you agree not to lie to each other?"
Beautiful line. Great way to start a conversation. Just, hi. For audio listeners, I did something with my hands, which was just like, welcome, let us speak. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot. My bad.
For audio listeners, whenever we do President Snow, we're doing no, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to add to his audio listeners.
I mean, like, we could.
We could. Snow then talks to Katniss about her game and how she won and the action that he took because she won, and tells her that he killed Crane, Seneca Crane, the runner of the games. Now, if you read only the Hunger Games book, we never really heard about Seneca Crane. Maybe once. We read his name once. We understood he was a game maker. We didn't know he was in charge of the whole games in the book.
No, they did tell us that he was the game maker.
They did. Sorry, I'm wrong. But if you watch the film, you actually got to see him kind of die.
Yeah, it was fun.
So that was an addition from Gary Ross's film, which is the first film. So it was cool. It was kind of a callback from a film perspective.
It was nice that like they didn't omit anything from the first film. They just moved on to a new director.
They just added stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
Seneca
the
Crane.
conversation goes fine.
Yeah, so Seneca Crane is dead, which womp womp womp. He wanted to kill little kids. It's fine. They add to the dialogue between Snow and Katniss. He talks about District 13 in this scene, which, to be fair, Snow never mentions District 13 in the book.
It's a cardinal scene.
Yeah, you just don't talk about District 13.
It gone, it blew up, and that's all we know.
I think the Capitol itself never mentions it on purpose, except for in broadcast when they want to like be like, this is what we can do to you if you don't listen to us.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to have President Snow say it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's kind of above the law. I don't know how do you feel?
I felt fine.
Okay.
He can do what he wants. He's the president.
In the book, there's an interruption of the meeting. Her mother comes in to give them tea and cookies. That's kind of glossed over.
That's
it doesn't
fine.
happen
I
in the
don't
film.
care.
No, I was just saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And Snow picks up a cookie and right away goes, "Oh, did your mother make these?" And PETA made cookies for the meeting. So
That is true. That is very true. But yeah, mother not being there, don't really care.
yeah. So there's 2 editions of the scene. So basically they have a huge conversation. Snow's like, "I don't need you to lie. I need you to basically pretend you're still in love with PETA."
Yep.
To keep the Capitol in check. But there's 2 editions that weren't in the book but are added to the film. Number 1, Snow asked to be her ally in this. Like he wants her on side.
Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Me either. Like Snow wanting to be an ally with Katniss is a bit weird.
It makes sense that Snow wants Katniss to be an ally with him.
Not the other way around.
No.
I think it was just them trying to add to like the plot, maybe diversion plot.
I don't know. Maybe there's some psychological thing that they were trying with the text of that speech.
Yeah. And then Snow giving her a rose is new. So he gives her a white rose at the end of the meeting.
Yeah. Was that supposed to symbolize something?
I think it means something in the next film.
We'll get to a white rose a bit later, I guess.
He also then shows her the video of Gale and her kissing.
Like 2 minutes earlier.
Which, in the book, he doesn't need to show them that he knows. She just knows he knows.
He does whisper it to her.
Oh, he does. And I think it's a lot more sinister in the book.
Yeah.
For him to be like, I know. Like, it hit her really hard. Again, we're not privy to Katniss's thoughts in the film, so they have to show, not tell, as much as they can.
Oh, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I am tired. It's
a
long day.
The other thing that I think is missing from the film edition compared to the book edition, when anybody's around Snow in a private room, they can smell blood hidden from roses. The understanding Katniss gets is the blood is on Snow's breath.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how you showed that in a film.
I don't either. I just think it's a really interesting tidbit.
Oh, okay.
That it's an adaptation thing. Was there a way for them to show it, and they chose not to?
Don't think so.
Maybe a line they could have added to somewhere. He does spit up blood in a later scene.
I think that might have been their way. And I think that might have been all that they needed. Because I feel like a line about it would have negated a big part of the rest of it.
Fair. Again, we're not privy to Katniss's thoughts, so we don't get it. They have to figure out another way to do it. So Snow leaves. She understands her job now. She has to make sure that the whole world believes her and Peeta are a straight-up couple. They're the strongest couple ever in Pan Am. Nothing can break them apart. The Capitol has to believe it. Everyone has to believe it.
And it's awkward!
Very awkward. So everyone shows up for the tour. Who, her stylist, Cinna, Effie, and they want to get her ready for the tour. They skipped an interesting thing in the book. So everybody who becomes a victor has to have a talent.
Yeah.
Peeta's talent in the book is painting.
Mm-hmm.
And Katniss doesn't have any talent. Or she says she doesn't have any talent in the book.
Yeah, so Katniss's talent is designing clothes, and Cinna does most of the work.
Cinna does all the work.
Shh. The Capitol can't know.
Oh, sorry, Snow. Katniss designs all the clothes.
That's better.
Cinna's just training her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinna's just showing her how the ropes work.
I think
Literally, they were messing with ropes one day.
I think it's an interesting cut out of the film version because it does show Cinna and Katniss' relationship is still strong post games.
Yeah.
Although, I will say the actor who plays Cinna and the actor who plays Katniss Everdeen together, they do still show love for each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am not upset that they cut this. I understand why they cut it. They cut it for time. They could have included it, yes, but they cut it for time, and I understand why they cut it.
Hey, I'm not mad.
It's fair.
So the day of the tour starts. I'm really, really excited. Katniss and Peeta exit different houses. This is true in the film and the book.
Yep.
And they run into each other, and they fall down, and they pretend to love, and kiss, kiss, kiss. Cool, cool, cool.
So I have a note.
It's weirder in the film than it is the book. In the book, people come to watch them.
Wait, you said it's weirder in the film?
Yeah.
I said it's weirder in the book.
I thought it was weirder in the film.
It's definitely weirder in the book.
It's weird in the film.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, you say why you think it's weirder in the book, and I'll say why it's weirder in the film.
You said why it's weirder in the book.
Well, people are watching them?
Yeah!
They're supposed to be there cheering them on.
I mean, that's fair. But also, in the book, you just feel a lot more like Katniss is she's so hung up with, this whole meeting that has just happened with Snow and everything. It's even more awkward in the book. Like, it's awkward in the film, but, like, you know, maybe Jennifer Lawrence is just too good of an actress in that moment where she plays it off where it's like, oh, there's not a care in the world. I love this book. Like, I don't know. I just didn't get the sense of awkwardness.
I think, and this is coming from a very interesting thing with the film edition, they had Caesar Flickerman kind of interview her through a projector screen.
Yeah, that also made it really awkward. I didn't like that.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That made it awkward to me because nobody was there.
Oh, yeah, and he was just like, hello, lovebirds. We have something that we need to do today. I'm sorry, does he have a British accent?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I mean, it is a British actor, so
Well, then
probably.
I would assume that he probably has a British accent.
It's Caesar Flickerman. He could have an extravagant accent if he wants.
Sure.
So Caesar isn't there in the book at this moment, nor is he interviewing them through a projector screen.
Caesar just isn't in this at all.
He is.
Like, in the book.
No, but like he's in later.
Right, but like in this scene, he just like not there.
Also, I think one of the things they cut out, just for your understanding, how the victory tour works, is you start out in your district just to say goodbye. Then you go through every single district backwards. So you go 12 to 1, skipping your district.
Yep.
Then you go to the capital.
Party at the capital.
Party at the capital. Then you go back to your district.
Party at
your
district.
That's how it works in the book. In the film,
they just start at 12, go to the capital, and have a party at the capital.
and that's the tour. So they skip out the last party. Fair enough.
Look, I get it. You don't need to show two parties. And also, if I'm remembering correctly, in the book, she describes the party at the Capitol and then just glosses over of like, oh yeah, we came back, had some cookies, it was great. And then like, do we just continue with the story?
It is funny.
Like,
they made the party at the Capitol be like this huge event where it's like 3 pages. No, it is. It is a lot more.
The party in the Capitol might legitimately be 3 pages, but that's all it needs to like still be a grand event. Yeah. The party in District 12 is completely just not in the film, but in the book,
it's not in the book.
No. I think it is in the book, and it's like wedged into like a paragraph.
No, that's what I mean. It's like we were there.
We were there. It happened. We had some cookies. It was fun. Peeta made some cookies. Let's go.
Cool. So Peeta and Katniss kiss each other. In the film, he kind of says a line that feels out of nowhere.
What does he say?
He calls her out for the fake kiss. He's really upset still with her, which is weird because in the book...
this is after the cameras go away.
This is in the book. Even though the cameras have gone away, Peeta would never call Katniss out for the fake stuff. Like, he understands why they have to be this way.
Yeah.
It just felt weird coming from Peeta.
That's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Also, considering the next scene, it felt really weird. So they get on the lovely train to the next district, which is District 11. So they're going to go for 12.
Well done, Stephen. You're able to count backwards. Let's go. Let's see how long he can keep it up, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, 11 minus 1 is 10. And we'll keep going from there. So we're going to District 11.
Yay! It's the home of Rue.
I think Peeta not having a fake leg is still coming back to bite them. Just for your guys' edification, in the last film, he didn't lose his leg, but in the book, he's supposed to lose his leg and have a fake leg. I think it was very important that he has a piece of the Capitol with him at all times.
Yeah. I made that note, I think, a bit later, but yeah.
Then Katniss is getting really upset with Effie. Effie's being really overbearing. Same in the book and film. The actress was just way too good at Effie. Mm-hmm. She does it really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
So Katniss basically blows up at everybody, and in the book, she leaves the train to go out into the snow, and Peeta follows so they can have a private conversation.
No. Haymitch follows.
Oh, Haymitch follows. I do apologize.
You should.
Haymitch follows so they can have a private conversation, because obviously she can't tell Haymitch what Snow told her because she thinks Snow has cameras everywhere in 12.
Right.
So when Haymitch follows her out of the snow, She tells Haymitch
Everything.
And Haymitch is like, oh crap.
We in some deep doo-doo now.
And Haymitch is like, this is what we gotta do.
We will fix the deep doo-doo.
And then later on the train, before we get to 11, Peeta and Katniss have a heart-to-heart, and Peeta offers her to be a friend. They've actually kept this scene, so Peeta and Katniss become friends, which is why I said that line where he like calls her out for a fake kiss, and the next scene he's literally like, let's be friends. It's really weird.
Yeah, I did have a note that I'm liking that like we just get more of Peeta in this film. In the first film, that was one of my complaints, was that like his character just felt like bland. He didn't do a lot. There's just a lot more character development already, and we've seen him for 3 scenes.
Josh Hutcherson, congratulations. You got to play your role.
Yeah, well done. Look, I've always respected him as an actor ever since Bridge of Terabithia.
Oh yeah. Just kind of off that note, it feels like, you know how Ron Weasley is a terrible character in all of the films up until the last one, where they're like, oh, now he can have to do stuff.
Yeah.
Now he can do
hey,
stuff.
Rupert, do your job that you've been. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean I gotta do my job? The job that we've been paying you to do for the last decade.
Hey, no, Rupert does well. It's the fact that they wrote his role. Like,
No, he does fantastic.
They gave all of his stuff to Hermione.
Right, which is why like he hadn't had to work for a decade.
Fair.
He just had to exist.
He just had to be the best friend.
Look, did he do well? Yes. Did he have to do as much as he would have if they didn't give all of his stuff to Hermione? No.
So then we go into this tunnel, and we're going to the tunnel into 11, and Katniss sees a Mockingjay on the tunnel.
Yeah, she sees something else too.
Well, what did she see?
The number 13.
Oh, that's right. Which is weird.
What? That's not how numbers work.
Well, also, because just for everybody's edification, if you look at the Panem map, you kind of understand where 11 is. 11 would be in the rural south area, because obviously that's where we would plant everything.
Yes.
And then 13 would actually be the north, like Maine, Canada.
I think so.
In the north.
Something
so it's
like
weird
that.
to have a 13 symbol in the tunnel.
It's awkward. Anyway, doesn't make sense. Also, why the Mockingjay red? Why in the tunnel? That didn't make sense to me either.
So we see 11, and we start to understand the hugeness of 11. 11 is massive compared to 12. Mm-hmm. 12 is like one brick compared to a whole building that is 11.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people, and you really kind of get the sense that there's such a huge population that how did Rue, even in the film and the book, I know it's in the book, it's Katniss' thought, but in the film, I still get that sense of how did Rue get picked out of all the 11-year-olds?
The odds were in her favor.
No, the odds were not in her favor.
Sorry, the odds were not. The odds were not in her favor.
So we get to the train station, and instantly Effie, Haymitch, Katniss, and Peeta get thrown in the back of a truck by peacekeepers and taken to the stage where they'll give their speech for the Hunger Games.
Yay! It's speech time.
Effie's not happy that peacekeepers are doing that to them. She seems very uncomfortable by these peacekeepers.
Oh, Effie's mad that protocol has been changed and she was not informed. Effie needs to be informed. That's all.
Yeah.
She's okay with protocol changing, but she has set a schedule, and you do not mess with Effie's schedule. I mean, everyone does, but you shouldn't.
And can I just point out that in the last film, Gary's film, they decided there was a riot in 11 last time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look the same as it does from the last film.
No.
Also, even though there was a riot at 11, the peacekeepers being this kind of tight and dangerous, it makes sense now. But also the riot in 11 never happened. So I think it's a little more sinister from the book perspective because they haven't done anything wrong. I know they still haven't done anything wrong even though they rioted. But you kind of get why the
But
capital...
Effie possibly doesn't know that they have rioted in the film.
They haven't rioted in the book either.
Right. So in the book, it's a lot more sinister. In the film, you understand a bit more of like why they're doing it.
Yeah, but so it loses the sinisterality of it maybe a bit?
Yeah.
It's
possibly.
still wrong. It's still wrong.
Still wrong. You shouldn't treat people that way. You shouldn't throw them into the back of a van, especially when they're your victors.
Yeah, Capital, get your shit together.
Yeah. Don't treat the people who killed other people for you and just your entertainment. Not even like, this thing called war. But like just for entertainment purposes. Maybe treat them kindly. They've been through enough emotional drama. Definitely all of them have PTSD.
Yeah.
They all have different vices to get them through the PTSD.
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch, alcohol.
So Effie gives Peeta and Katniss letters, speeches to read basically, and they're like, okay, we'll read these.
Katniss is really nervous because Katniss is like, I can't do this, I can't talk, I can't do this, especially in front of Rue's family. Like, she is super, super nervous. So Peeta's a good friend, and he's like, don't worry, I got this, I'll do the talking. Good guy, Peeta, just trying to be supportive.
So, Katniss is giving Peeta is giving his speech.
There you go.
And
Katniss
Haymitch,
is standing
Cinna,
next to
and
him.
Effie are now watching from this screen off stage, which I thought was a cool addition because you don't get their reaction shots to what's happening. And Peeta kind of goes off script a bit, and he offers half of a day of his winnings for the rest of the year, for years to come, forever till he dies, to both of the families. And the question is, can he do that? And the
Nobody
answer is
knows.
no, because nobody knows if it's ever been done.
Nobody's done it before. Peeta's gonna change things.
It's not a good thing.
Look, I just said he's changing things. I never said it was for the better.
In the film, Katniss doesn't really register that Peeta said it. In the book, Katniss loves that Peeta said it.
Katniss is like, oh my god, thank you. This is so amazing. Why didn't I offer that? Oh my goodness. In the film, Katniss is like, I'm sorry, what?
So then Katniss goes to talk because she feels bad and she sees Rue's family. In the book, you kind of get an idea of what Rue's family looks like. In the film, they're like a little blip on the screen. It's really hard to see them.
Yeah, no, I legitimately have a note here. They don't make it as obvious who the families are in the books as they do the films.
They're on the podiums in the films, but like they're like all the way in the back.
Oh, they're all the way in the back, but like in the book, like she has to kind of like guess who the family is. She can't like fully piece together who the family is. Like it's not like clear. But like literally in the film, the family is standing all the way like in the back, right? Up on an elevated platform with a picture of the dead child up behind them in like 300 times like size and just massive.
And it's not just a picture, guys. It's a hologram.
Yeah.
Well, it's a moving picture. It's a Harry Potter moving picture.
So weird and so bizarre, and I'm here for it.
But my thing is, in the book, she describes Rue's sister for details. You kind of get an idea of what Rue's sister looks like.
Yeah.
In the film, you can't really see them because they're all the way in the back of the long shot.
Look, they didn't have enough time, nor could they find someone to truly define what Rue's sister looked like in the book. So what they decided to do was stick them in the back, stick them up with the holographic image of the dead child behind them, and be like, hi, you're going to be the center of attention. You're going to despise this. This is your way of remembering the capital always wins. I'm fine with the change, honestly.
Okay. So Katniss is there, and she tells them how she loved Rue, and she cared for Thresh, who saved her life. And she gives a basic explanation, which is the same in both film and book. And an old man in the middle of the crowd, 3 fingers, salutes to her.
I'm sorry, that was a shit whistle, but you get the idea.
And immediately the peacekeepers burst into action. In the book, Katniss and Peeta leave the area to go get something. And then Katniss and Peeta go back because they forgot something. and they see the horror. The peacekeepers have taken this old man, taken him on the stage in front of everyone, and shoot his brains out.
Bye-bye.
A lot more gorier in the book.
Bye-bye.
In the film, they watch the peacekeepers drag him to the stage and shoot him as they close the doors because the Capitol doesn't hide anything in the book? In the film?
No.
In the book, at least they tried to hide it. In the film, it was like, no, you will see this happen.
Nah, the Capitol in the film is like, screw it. What are they gonna do? Rebel? That's a joke. Even though they've already tried.
So yeah, old guy gets shot, which is really, really sad.
Bye-bye.
For just saluting Katniss.
Look, not a good reason to get shot, but at least it was quick, I guess?
Then there's an argument between Katniss, Haymitch, and Peeta about what just happened. And Katniss and Peeta are both freaking out because they feel responsible for people dying because there's like 3 people who got shot. And Haymitch is like, who protects them? So Haymitch is the good guy, I think, in the film version and in the book version, to be fair. And he's like, he cares more about the people who are dying than his 2 tributes who are freaking out.
Let's be honest, Haymitch don't really care about them.
No, he does.
He loves them dearly with all of his heart. Haymitch don't care about them.
No, they're his family.
No, again, Haymitch loves him dearly with all of his heart. Haymitch don't care about them.
Fair. So
I
Haymitch,
stand by what I said.
in the book, Haymitch is looking for a private place to talk to Katniss and Peeta about just what happened. In the film, they kind of do the same thing, but they kind of rush the idea of it.
But that's how it is in the book, too. He rushes them up to that room.
No, yeah. What I'm saying is, in the film, the conversation feel like it continues. In the book, Haymitch won't let them talk until they're in a safe space.
Yeah.
Because Haymitch understands that the Capitol is always listening. And Haymitch, who's been on the Victory Tour, knows a good spot for a secret conversation.
Haymitch got some tricks up his sleeve. He may be old, but he's got some tricks.
So they go upstairs, they start having a conversation. Katniss then tells Haymitch and Peeta about what Snow said. And Haymitch and Peeta both react the same way. Why didn't you tell us before? All this stuff. Peeta's like, what about my family? What about my loves? I think it's a lot more heartbreaking in the book version because Haymitch already knows, and this is where Peeta finds out, and Haymitch doesn't find out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And in the book version, which is really sad, Peeta's like, listen, I understand you two have some unspoken agreement here, and you two are more friends than I am friends with you guys, but you gotta include me in. You have to stop just protecting her. You have to be my mentor too. And that hit me in the book because Ankit and I talked about it in the last episode about like Peeta not really getting protection from Haymitch. You get the idea in the book that Peeta is a bit jaded from Haymitch and Katniss kind of always having their secrets together.
Yeah.
In the film, you kind of get that sense, except for Haymitch is also left out of the secret.
No, Haymitch don't get to have a secret.
I know. So that was the end of the tour, and he just says, stick to the script. So then they go on the tour, and they just stick to the script. While more riots and more arguing is happening, you kind of get a sense on the tour from the book. It just skips them. It just says the rest of the tour went by peacefully. But in the film, you have people yelling at them, saying, we want you to say more. We want you to be our Mockingjay, which we'll explain later. But
which doesn't happen.
No, they kind of just wanted to make the tours feel more rebellious than they are. In the book, you get the sense of Katniss and Peeta just wanted to get through the tours and be lovey-dovey as much as they could. And they really tried not to ruffle any more feathers so that way nobody had to die for them.
Yeah.
So they were trying to protect the rest of the world. And then they end up in the Capitol. So now that we're in the Capitol, we're going to take a quick snack break and we'll come back soon.
Woo!
Hi, this is Stephen. Thank you for watching Co-op Forge. If you like our content, wish to support our editing staff or all, please subscribe to our Patreon in the link down below. You'll get bonus footage and many other fun activities out of it. In our description, you'll also find links to our social media, where we'll post about our new episodes. Flip the Scripts is every Friday, Seattle Across the Pond is every other Thursday, and Post Finale is posted every Wednesday. Thank you for watching. Now back to the main episode. Well, that was a fun snack break. So here we are.
Woo!
We're back in the Capitol.
Did you have some good snacks?
I did. What did you have?
I had water.
I had popcorn.
When did you have popcorn?
It was imaginary.
I wish I had some imaginary popcorn. You know what I kind of wish that I had?
Popcorn?
No.
Oh.
I have that in the kitchen. I can walk in there and make some popcorn after this.
A Kit Kat.
No, that's just one of my nicknames that people used to call me.
Crunch bar.
No.
Junior Mints.
You are not getting closer.
Cotton candy.
It's something that I haven't had in a long time, and yes, it is super sugary, and I probably wouldn't eat that many of them, but like, yeah.
Sour Patch Kids.
Okay, you're, think crackery.
Crackery?
Yeah, crackery.
Crackery?
Yes, crackers.
Are they sour?
No, crackers.
Like just crackers?
Well, I mean a very specific cracker, but a
like
cracker.
Ritz?
No.
Ritz cracker?
No, I had Ritz like last week.
Like the normal crackers you get with like soup?
No. It's crackers that like you find in America mainly. Mainly at like birthday parties and stuff is where I found them a lot.
Don't know what fortune cookies?
No. Those aren't crackers. Those are cookies.
Hey, what crackers, man?
Frosted animal crackers.
I hate you so much.
Why?
No one was gonna get that.
It's a cracker.
No, it's a cookie.
I said they were super sweet.
It's a cookie.
It's a cracker.
Agree to disagree.
It literally says cracker in the name. How do you not call it a cracker?
I don't know. I haven't had them in like years.
Sebastian, back me up here. It's a cracker, right? It's in the name.
Yeah, probably is a cracker.
It's a cracker.
Okay, cool. So we're back in the Capitol.
Yeah, that's actually where we're
And
at.
before we end up at the Capitol party to celebrate Katniss and Peeta and Haymitch are all having a conversation on the train, and they're basically saying it isn't working. They realize that it's not working. They think they failed Snow, and they have their Hail Mary play. Their Hail Mary play is to get Peeta to propose to Katniss live in their interview with Caesar Flickerman.
Yeah, I didn't like this change because Katniss isn't the one that comes up with the idea in the book.
Yeah.
It's Peeta, and he kind of does it on the spot a little bit.
Yeah, and it throws Katniss off because
It's supposed to be a surprise. It's not supposed to be she's thinking of it. Like, Peeta pulls this off by surprise.
Also, Katniss knows this might happen. The thing about this book that you kind of get a sense of, which I don't think you really get a sense in the film, is once you become a victor of the Hunger Games, you never leave that life. And for Katniss in the book, she understands now that her relationship with Peeta has to be forever. It is cemented. She can never not be with him.
They do have, like, a scene or some way of saying that, but I think it's a bit later and it's not as clear.
It's not as... Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Peeta then asks Katniss to marry him on screen, but instead of showing the interview with Caesar Flickerman, because they skipped another one, for those who watched the last week's episode, they skipped the last interview with Caesar as well. So it seems
Why would you do that? Give me more Caesar. Give me more Caesar.
Well, they have Caesar there. He just kind of goes, "Oh, did you watch this? Look, they proposed when you all watch this." And it's like, for
Caesar,
everyone's,
I want to see you react to it.
for everyone's understanding, it makes no sense to have Caesar telling an audience, "Did you watch this? Do you remember when this happened?" Because, A, all the Hunger Games stuff is mandatory to watch. Why would you have a recap for something that is mandatory that everyone watch?
For the people in the Capitol who want to relive it like 1,000 different times.
They have TiVo. I'm sure they have TiVo.
Not based on what we've seen.
Dude, they have the Hunger Games recorded.
Yeah, but we haven't seen the technology that it's on TiVo. We've seen the technology that it's on like VHS tapes.
I'm saying they've recorded it probably.
I'm just saying there's no proof that they have TiVo in this universe.
Moving on.
I never said I was here to be helpful.
So they skip the interview just to go straight to the party. Katniss and Peeta are at the party. They look, stunning.
As they do.
As they do. The actors, of course, look stunning. As they do. Fair.
Now,
Fair.
Josh Hutcherson, beautiful man.
I like how you talk more about him
Hey, he's great.
than
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence,
I mean,
who
also a beautiful woman.
who is
but, like,
very attractive.
yeah.
Mystique. Oh my gosh.
Never seen the films.
Go. Just
Okay.
go.
Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the end of our. This is our end of
Very
Flip the
nice.
Script. No, I'm just kidding.
See ya.
I'm kidding. Sit back down.
But you told me to get out.
No, come back.
Okay.
So I love Jennifer Lawrence. She's amazing. Jennifer Lawrence, you're watching this. You're amazing. Love you. And
Hey,
just what you're
Jennifer
saying.
Lawrence, if you're watching this, we're from the same hometown.
Cool. So, like I said, they end the tour here instead of back at 12. I get it. The Capitol's a really cool spot.
Like we alluded to earlier, we don't really see the party at 12 in the book either.
Peeta and Katniss are at the party. They kind of skip this idea that Katniss wants to try every piece of food at the party. Mm-hmm. Where Peeta's like, kind of goes along with it. Because Katniss is still young in the book, where it feels in the film they kind of get rid of her youth a bit.
A bit. She does seem... I haven't really thought about it.
She always seems more youthful in the book to me than she does in the film.
I wouldn't say youthful is necessarily the right term. I think innocent.
Yeah, innocent. I agree with that.
She's a lot more innocent in the book than she is the film.
Which is funny, because she murdered more people in the Hunger Games than most people.
Jihan? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why I started making noises when I'm starting to count. So we have 1, 2, 3.
Any kills she helped with count as well.
4.
5.
4.
Marvel.
Clove.
No, sorry, not Clove.
No,
that was Thresh. Marvel, Glimmer. The girl from District 4.
Yeah.
And
the last guy, Kato. 4.
Did she not kill anybody else?
She only killed 4.
All right, Kato might have killed more people in the game.
Yeah.
But she survived.
Look.
Out of the surviving 2 of them, she killed more people.
Well, yeah, but your competition is Peeta.
Who's killed 1?
And that was an accident in the film and the book. He's killed 2 in the book.
He's killed 1 in the book.
He's killed 2. We've been over this.
Oh, that's right. 1 was a mercy kill, and 1 was an accident kill.
Yeah, you wanted to give the mercy kill to Kato. Kato just let her to bleed to death. He didn't kill her.
That's right. Then Peeta and Katniss run into the team after they've tried so much food in the book. They kind of just end up next to them, and they learn about puke wine. So in the Capitol, people eat so much, and then they drink some puke wine, and then they puke out their guts so they can eat more.
Steven, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is this a real thing?
Puke wine?
Yeah.
Hell no, man.
Oh, okay.
Anorexia, I think, is like a really bad disease.
No, I know that anorexia is a terrible, terrible disease. I don't know what the rich and famous do.
Well, there is a thing called Hippocap, right?
What's that?
It's like a medicine that helps you puke if you've ingested something you shouldn't ingest.
Okay, but I feel like that's a bit different, but similar.
Well, there's a Family Guy episode.
Oh, no.
Where, like, Peter shares it with his kids.
PETA?
Peter.
Oh.
Peter Griffin shares it with his kids. And they all start puking around the house. And then Lois shows up and goes, "Who wants curry?" And all of them just go, "Ugh." Oh, yeah, and Brian also has it as well.
Poor puppy.
Yeah, poor Brian.
Poor Brian. Hey, didn't Brian get killed in an episode?
Yeah, he's back alive now. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's voiced by the same actor.
Huh?
Peter Griffin also is voiced, like, the guy who created it also voices
Yeah,
Brian
I
Griffin.
know that. He also voices Stewie. Like,
He voices almost every character in the show.
he voices everyone except for Meg, which is Mila Kunis.
Not just... No,
Okay,
he voiced
that's just one of the ones that popped into my head right away. Like,
Fair.
Yeah.
So they learn about puke wine. In the book, you get more of a sense that they're really disgusted by it, because how dare people starve and the Capitol just gorges on everything and there's pukes all out so they can eat more. It's really disgusting.
It really is. Please don't do this ever.
In the film, it's a bit more of a joke. It's kind of taken as a joke.
Yeah, it's a bit glossed over, but it still happens.
Then Peeta and Katniss go to dance, and they get interrupted by the introduction of Plutarch. Effie introduces Katniss to Plutarch in the film. In the book, Plutarch just comes over and asks her to dance.
Don't mind that change.
Is played by the late Seymour Hoffman.
Great actor.
Who unfortunately has passed away. So if you ever watched the film Patch Adams, which has the late Seymour Hoffman, also the late Robin Williams in the same film.
I'm sorry, what film?
Patch Adams.
Like Patch?
Yeah.
Of Adams?
No, Patch Adams. That's what it's called.
Patch Adams?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's really good. You should watch it.
Look, at this point, I mean, like, my list of movies that I apparently should watch is like 8,000 films.
Put this one higher on your list.
Well, I mean, like, dude, I'm working on it, but, like, sometimes it just feels so daunting, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Do you ever feel that? But then I remind myself that, like, okay, the thing that I'm, like, trying to do is watch a movie. There are worse things that I need to do. So, like, perspective.
People have seen Patch Adams. Even you, Sebastien. You vote. You get me. I hope you've seen the film. You're a film guy.
Yeah, honestly, like, that might be, like, the biggest thing that you and Sebastien have against me is that I haven't seen things. People ask me all the time, hey, how did you get into acting? Like, what inspired you to do it? I did it and I enjoyed it, so I kept doing it. It's not because I saw someone do it and I was like, I want to do that.
Plutarch is introduced newly into the film, so this is the first time we ever see Plutarch. In the book, Plutarch is in the first book, actually. He is on the panel that judges the solo trials. When Katniss shot the pig, he falls into a punch bowl.
Yeah.
But he is not in the first film, but he's magically in the second film, and we're okay with that.
I'm fine with that. You don't need to give me an excuse to put Seymour Hoffman in this film.
In the book, he talks about how he volunteered for the job. In the film, he talks about how he volunteered for the job. In the book, he's kind of forced upon the job. I don't think anyone volunteers to be a game maker. I think it is a given position.
No, I do think that he had kind of like pushed his name forward as what
I would say he probably pushed his name forward, but I think you have to be given it.
I don't know. It's not explicitly stated, so I don't mind the shift of saying that he volunteered for the job, because he also then does justify it in a very good way of saying after what happened to Seneca Crane, not many people were like eager to have this job. I mean, like, everyone knows that having this job is only something that like you do for like 3-4 years, because then, like, you know, they'll get someone new, they'll try something different just to spice it up. But, like, you know, it's not necessarily all the time that one of them dies.
And that's kind of all he says in Katniss in the film. In the book, he talks about how he's really excited for this next year games and how he has a secret meeting with President Snow later to talk more about the games. And you kind of get this idea that he's just a big goofball, which you don't really get in the film. And then he shows Katniss his stopwatch, which has a Mockingjay symbol behind the face.
Yeah.
This, for whatever reason, cut from the film.
Don't know. Didn't enjoy that cut.
Now, they moved the party to Snow's mansion. It's just in the capital. It's not specifically says it's in Snow's mansion. And Snow's not supposed to be at the party. The big thing is Snow doesn't show up to events like this.
No, Snow does show up to the party in the book.
No, he shows up at the interview. He's not at the party.
Oh, you're right. They cut the interview.
They cut the interview, so they moved Snow from the interview to the party.
Okay.
So Snow is now at the party.
This tells you how much I minded Snow at the party.
He's a lot more comedic in the interview. I think, like, there's Snow, the politician, that to me in the film isn't there. But in the book, it's like you get this idea of how he's like a Trump. He's so likable.
Yeah.
As a politician.
Yeah. I would argue more likable. Depends on who you're talking to, though.
And this is where he vomits blood, which is new from the film perspective and not in the book.
But he doesn't like vomit it.
No, he drinks some wine and then it backwashes into the wine.
Kind of. I don't know. It was a weird effect that I didn't fully understand that the blood is what was happening.
So just so you all understand, this is probably in comparison of when Katniss first met Snow in this book, she smelled blood on his breath always.
Yeah.
So I think they wanted to get that out here. And this is the best way they could do it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't mind it. Again, like I said, I just didn't make that connection is all.
And he shakes his head no at Katniss to let her know they failed.
Which is what he does in the book as well.
Even though Katniss kind of got that sense already.
Katniss kind of already knew, but yeah.
Katniss is going back to 12, so we kind of just pop back to 12. We don't spend time on a train again.
I'm okay with this.
By the way, one of the things that was in the book and the film, and you don't really get this idea in the film, Peeta and Katniss have been sharing a bed permanently on the tour. It keeps them both calm. It's a big thing of both their characters. They rely on each other so much that Katniss and Peeta start sharing a bed. It makes everyone really excited that they might actually be in a relationship on the trains. Yeah. But they share a bed to kind of protect each other.
It's also like a way to comfort each other during the night, especially because like the night is when they get the nightmares and the PTSD really comes around. Like you see it other times as well, but like you see it more and more at night in your dreams. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I'm sure that they did research.
Yeah. While it is in the film that Katniss and Peeta do share a bed, I just think it's more pronounced in the book.
Yeah.
So we go back to 12, and Katniss is getting ready in the mayor's mansion. Again, the mayor, not in the film. Madge, his daughter, not in the film. So these two characters are now book only. For 2 films, they are not in the film.
Weird. Understand why. Would have liked to at least see Madge.
I think there's this really interesting thing of Katniss can't have a friend but Peeta now.
No, Katniss can't have a friend but Gale now.
Yeah, well, Katniss is friends with Gale and Peeta now.
Those are the only 2 friends that she has.
But she had Madge, and I think there was a really important thing of she could have a friend other than Peeta.
And I think it was also very important because it gave her a female friend.
Also, there's a whole backstory of how the pin came to her.
Yeah. But also, that aspect, because she says it in the book, having Madge as a friend. She says it, early in the book. She is the one that has made it tolerable because things are now a bit awkward with Gale. I don't see him all the time. He's working in the mines. I can't see Peeta all the time because things are awkward and I don't want to. Mm-hmm. And so, Madge being the third friend and that to a female friend, she can talk to Madge about pretty much anything.
Exactly. So instead of going back to 12, we are on the train, and both things happen at the party in the book and on the train back to 12. Mm-hmm. Katniss sees a TV screen where she's seen an uprising happening in 8. So District 8 is in full rebellion.
Wee-hoo!
DEFCON 2, everyone. DEFCON 2.
Wait, what?
DEFCON 2.
I thought it was DEFCON 3.
I think it goes in order. DEFCON 3 is bad.
Right.
Really bad.
Sure.
DEFCON 2 is almost bad.
What's DEFCON 1?
Does it go backwards?
I don't know.
What's nuclear explosion? DEFCON 1 or DEFCON 3?
You're asking the wrong person.
Okay, this is before nuke.
Okay. Cool. 2 seems like a good number. It seems like it's in the middle.
All right, shit hit fan, everyone.
Shit is hitting fan, but not completely.
So there's a rebellion in 8, and now Katniss knows that there's a rebellion going on in 8.
Yep.
So she knows she's really, really failed.
She ain't do her job very well.
And then in the film, we cut to a scene. Of course, it's not in the book at all because Katniss is not present. Again, we talked a lot about that in the last episode. Every time Katniss is not in a scene, and we see it, not in the book. Cool. Don't need to explain that ever again.
And yet, you just did. Continue.
Well, for people who've never seen those episodes, watch this episode. Ankit. Plutarch is now the reason in the film the Hob got burned down. And they got a new peacekeeper. I don't know how I feel about that.
Plutarch.
So Plutarch tells Snow, how to deal with Katniss, how to deal with rebellion. And I feel like him sending in the new peacekeeper. So I feel like Plutarch being the one who's like responsible for the Hob getting burned down and for there being a new peacekeeper is quite an interesting change. What do you feel about that? Especially since we know the end.
Yeah, felt like it does do more for character development in terms of his character.
Fair.
So I don't know if they did that because I do know that all of the books were out by the time that the movies started coming out.
Yeah.
At least the original trilogy.
I think they were.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure all of them were. Like I think the first film came out in 2010 maybe or 2011. No,
2011.
this one came out in 2011.
2013.
Was it 2013?
You
Is
said
what
2013
I said.
earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think the last book came out 2010, if I remember right, and then this film came out in 2013.
So all 3 books have been out.
Yeah. So all 3 books are out, and so I think with all 3 books being out, it's possible that they made this change because they knew what might be coming in Mockingjay already. And they just wanted to add a little bit of character development for Plutarch for people who have only seen the films.
Yeah. I'm not going to complain. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman. Give me more Philip Seymour Hoffman in the late, as long as he's still alive.
Yeah. Like, I'm not upset. So, like, I think that might be a reason that the changes happened. For context, ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't aware, I haven't read this series before, nor have I seen these films. So this is the first time that I'm watching things. And currently, as we are recording this, I haven't read Mockingjay yet. I'm working on it, but like I haven't finished it yet. So like there's still a good amount of Mockingjay that I still have to read. So that's why I think like there is a chance that maybe that's why they made this change. Don't mind it. I do think that it makes him a lot more sinister, and I love it.
So Katniss comes back to 12, and Gale and her go out to the forest again, now that she can be with her friend Gale again, and she's really excited to be with him.
Woot woot!
Gale she says she wants to run away. She knows they failed. She wants to run away with him, Peeta, everyone. Gale's like, okay, let's run away. And Gale says, I love you. There's a Star Wars moment. She goes, I know. She Han Solo'd him.
Wow.
Just wanted to say that. I've wanted to say that since I read that part of the book.
Oh, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I knew this was coming. So I didn't interrupt him. He was on a roll.
The only thing is they didn't keep that in the film. Gale still tells her she loves him, and she responds with, I love you too. So they changed it in the film.
Not as good.
No, I love you and I know is so good.
It's iconic.
Then she tells Gale about the Uprising 8 in the book, and Gale changes his mind. He no longer wants to run away. And it's a big deal, but they want to talk about it more. And so they end up going back to into 12, and a new head peacekeeper shows up.
Yeah.
So they kind of combine all these events all into one thing, and I think it's really interesting and fascinating. In the book perspective, it takes a bit longer for the head peacekeeper to do things. In the film, they run at that thing like 1,000,000 miles per hour.
Don't mind it.
I don't mind it, but I think we do miss the fact that Peeta says yes to running away, and Gale says no.
Yeah, I do also think that we lose the fact a bit of, like, time is passing.
Exactly. It feels like we're running towards the end of the movie now.
Yeah.
Instead of, which I don't mind. To be fair, guys, this is one of my favorite films of the franchise.
Yeah. Again, we're nitpicking.
We're nitpicking. So they combine the events. There's a new head peacekeeper. He's showing up. And they burn down the Hob. So, like we just said. And Gale and Katniss see this happen. And instead of Gale and Katniss kind of going away, trying not to get caught, Gale tackles the new head peacekeeper to stop him from hitting a person.
Well done, Gale. 10 out of 10 IQ.
So what does Gale get?
I don't think that's how you rate IQ.
40 lashes. I don't think so. IQ is not rated like that. 40 lashes for tackling the new head peacekeeper. Now, Ankit, in the book, Gale gets 40 lashes for hunting in the woods and bringing in a wild turkey and trying to sell it to the old head peacekeeper, without realizing the new head peacekeeper is now in charge.
Yes.
That's what happens in the book. In the film, he tackles the guy and gets 40 lashes. I'm sorry. If I was the new head peacekeeper and someone tackled me, I would have just shot him. That change doesn't make any sense. If I was tackled, I'm the new head peacekeeper, I would have just pulled my gun out and been, cool, thank you for your service, goodbye. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So Gale's getting 40 lashes.
I'm laughing so much because I had the same thought. Why is he still alive?
Why is he still alive?
Look, I get it. Liam Neeson needs to be... Not Liam Neeson.
Liam Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth needs to have his Liam Neeson moment, but this might not be the way, Liam.
No. So Katniss is helping another person out by taking them out of the scene in the film so she doesn't see Gale get tied up to start getting whipped, which takes her out. In the book, her and Peter are walking in town and they both run into what's happening. Peter tries to get her to run away before she sees it, but she ends up intervening.
The whole crowd tries to get her to run away before she sees it.
Because they all know what she will do, which she ends up doing.
Literally, I think there's a quote from an old lady in the book, if I'm remembering correctly, where she literally goes, "Go away, child. You'll only make it worse for him."
Yeah, I think it's in both, actually.
Oh, I didn't hear it in the film.
I think it's said in the film to her.
Oh, so that was a terrible old lady voice. Hold on. I'm going to redo that.
No, I give you credit. I thought that was all right.
Oh, you thought that was all right?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Oh, sweet.
I was trying to get a kid to do an old lady voice in rehearsal today, and they couldn't do it.
You mean they couldn't talk like this? Oh, that wasn't an old lady voice. That was just this high voice.
It's her goblin voice.
No, my goblin voice is this one. Hello, my name is Dunt.
Oh, that's right. There's Dunt.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Katniss sees Gale getting whipped. She runs in to save him. If you've seen the trailer of Catching Fire, you've seen this moment.
Oh, it's in the trailer?
It's in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
And she gets...
I never watched the trailer, so...
She gets whipped by the whip in the book and gets a deep gash in her cheek. In the film, she doesn't really get hit that hard.
No, she gets like...
a scratch.
Okay, so this is an issue that I had, right? In the film, the whip just seems like a regular whip.
Oh, yeah.
In the book, it felt like that whip had like a million little spikes on it. It was the worst weapon.
I think a whip in a sense of like cracking. Like if you ever, because it is running at the speed of sound against somebody.
Yeah.
It can really hurt and damage.
I'm not saying that it can't. I have used whips multiple times, not on living things. But, like, I still think that the whip itself just held, like, the object held so much more fear in the book.
Yeah. So Haymitch sees this, her get whipped, and he runs in saying, she has a wedding, photos ensue. By the way, in the book, they spend a lot more time on this wedding, this idea of the wedding.
Oh, yeah,
in the film, we kind of forget about it, that she's supposed to get married to Peeta.
Yeah, in the book, Katniss, like, tries on wedding dress. Well, okay, let's rephrase this. Katniss gets sent wedding dresses to try on, but she tries on wedding dresses. They fuss over it. They make a whole deal of, like, oh, is Katniss's mother gonna let her get married? We don't know. They kind of do that in the film, but a bit later, but they do it kind of throughout the book.
Yeah. I'm almost there. We'll talk more about that, what they did and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So she gets whipped. Not really whipped in the film, but whatever. He pulls out a gun, is almost shooting Katniss. Then Peeta and Haymitch show up to protect her. And it's this huge moment where all three tributes, who are the surviving Hunger Games tributes of District 12, are protecting Gale. And they convince him to put his gun down. And he's like, you're new here. You know who she is. Don't do it. Let's just calm it down. So...
good job, Haymitch. Does a good job in the book and in the film to just calm him down.
They take Gale to Katniss' mother's house, and her mother and Prim instantly go into action to do medicine stuff and be doctor and nurse. In the book, they're really, really good at everything. In the film, Katniss's mother seems a bit shaky about being the doctor, and Prim has to help her. I'm all right with this because I like the idea of Prim kind of taking more of a front-forward role in this film.
Yeah.
But the morphine comes from their collection. In the book, the morphine comes from Madge. Again, Madge not in the book. Not in the film. No more Madge.
Bye, Madge.
Then they have snow coats. They take care of his back. Gale is just on their kitchen table. And Katniss and Gale, it's the same. Florence Nightingale's over him. She takes care of him. She kisses him on the table. They have a lovely scene where he says, "Oh, I wish I ran away with you." Which, like, keep in mind, he got whipped 5 minutes after he said no to running away with her. So it's not that much of a time. From him saying no, saying I want to do the rebellion, to him getting whipped is actually a little more time.
It's like 2 months in the film.
Yeah.
Or in the book, sorry.
Maybe like a month.
It's at minimum a month.
Yeah.
At least a month has passed in the book.
In the film, it's 10 minutes.
Nah. In the film, it's like 7.
Fair. I'll give you that.
It's not even the whole 10.
Katniss's eye injury, of course, is way worse in the book than it is in the film because she got whipped in the eye.
Yeah.
They kind of skip it. And then Katniss and Prim end up having a conversation after she took care of Gale the whole night. And now Peeta's taking care of Gale. Mm-hmm. About hope. That's not in the film. That's not in the book. But I'm okay it's in the film because we're getting more Prim. And I think it's important we get more Prim in this book. And I won't say why.
I know why. I won't say.
Cool.
So
Then we cut to a scene of Snow and Plutarch.
Oh, wait. I wanted to talk about that scene, though.
Oh, go for it.
Yes, like in the Katniss scene with Prim, I just think it's really beautiful that Prim is telling Katniss that she doesn't have to protect them.
Yeah.
And that there is hope. Like, kind of this, the first inkling of hope being spoken. Because there's been all of this talk about rebellion. There's been all of this talk about war and all of that. There's never been talk about hope.
Yeah.
And just feeling hopeful. And Prim being the one to say, it's okay, like, we'll be okay, like, you've done everything you can, like, you know, we are also set for life because you are the victor, but there is hope, like, don't forget to hope.
So now that we've made people hope, let's destroy that hope, shall we?
Yay!
So we cut to... I love you, man. We cut to a scene of Snow and Plutarch talking about wanting to get rid of the entire species. This species being the victor of the games. These people get money from the capital. They seem above the law. Snow is so tired of the bullshit. He's really mad that Katniss and Haymitch and Peeta all stopped them from killing Gale. Mm-hmm. If Snow had his way, Gale would have died right then and there. The thing they skip, because the next scene, they're going to introduce the third quarter quell. This is the big skip. This is the thing they skip. They skip the meeting of two characters who both ran away from the rebellion. They were both working they make the peacekeeper uniforms, 8. They're both working in a peacekeeping uniform factory. It blew up. Killed the husband of this teacher, and her student are on the run. They're trying to go to District 13. Katniss finds them in the woods, in the hut that her and her dad had set up long ago. She learns a lot more about District 13, a lot more about the rebellion in 8. They kind of skip all of that, and she gives them a lot of food and helps them out. She then, which is really interesting because we learn a lot more about 13 and we're really interested. And Katniss is really interested in 13, which brings us back to...
Jumping over a fence?
No, before that. Which brings us back to scene 13 in the...
Oh, the 13! Hey, Steven, is this where we're supposed to talk about that number 13?
Yeah.
Sweet, I did it!
So in 8, in District 8, in the District just 8 part, you kind of get the sense they're trying to find District 13. They have treats that have the Mockingjay symbol because they believe that is the symbol of District 13. So you kind of get this idea that they're headed somewhere.
Becoming the symbol of the rebellion slowly.
Yeah, slowly. So it's what 8 has kind of coined their rebellion using the Mockingjay. 8's the first district to rebel. So you get this idea of what's been happening. These two are on the run. I'm forgetting their names.
I don't know.
I'm sure they're in the next book. But they're running towards District 13. And Katniss is like, District 13 doesn't exist. Katniss believes it doesn't exist. But they kind of give her a hint of how they use the same footage every time they show 13. So it's just a repeated footage.
Yeah.
So they're saying something has to be there. So they're going to where District 13 is allegedly gone. Then she's going to go home from after meeting them. And the fence that she always used to go over is electrified again.
She used to go through.
So she now has to go over. So she jumps over the fence. She lands on her tailbone and almost breaks it.
Yeah.
And hurts her ankle. And then she goes back home. She almost gets caught by peacekeepers, but everyone kind of catches on really quick and protects her.
Yeah, everyone knows. She says, she was confused, but when she walks in, her mom is like, "Oh, did you have a good walk?" And she was like, "Walk?" And Prim is just like, "We have guests." And everyone catches on, and they're like, "Oh, how'd you hurt yourself?" "I slipped on some ice because it's winter."
Exactly. And then Peeta and Katniss basically spend the rest of winter upstairs in her room. Peeta taking care of her as she rests. Basically, Peeta being the Florence Nightingale and helps her heal.
How sweet.
And she writes a book of all the plants she knows.
No, she already has this book.
But Peeta draws all the pictures for her. Because she can't draw as good as Peeta can. So
she just can't draw.
Well, yes. It's really lovely. It builds up the relationship with Peeta and Katniss more. And then it becomes springtime. So time to announce the third quarter quell.
Oh wait, sorry, that's not the right song. I don't know what the springtime song is. Yay, it's spring! I guess that's what we're doing.
So to end our episode, we're just gonna talk about the third quarter quell and the announcement. And that'll be the end of the first episode. The rest of next episode, we're gonna talk about the repercussions of the third quarter quell and the games.
The tomfoolery that ensues.
Cool. So the third quarter of the quell is read out, and it's a lovely passage in the book and in the film. It's basically saying the strongest among us still have to suffer because of the rebellion. And basically this quarter quell saying we will reap from the existing victor pools. So 2 tributes from every district, 1 male, 1 female from every district. All of them have to be victors of the games, past games. Which now, because Katniss and Peeta both won, there are 24 tributes, male, female, who can go into these games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really interesting, because it would not have been possible if Katniss and Peeta did not win their game.
Yeah. What would have happened if, Peeta died?
Katniss would have still probably been reaped.
Sure. Oh, Haymitch existed. See, it could have still happened.
No, I'm saying if both of them just didn't win.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, let's flip the question. What would happen if Katniss died?
One of them would go, and they just have 1 less tribute. I could see the capital being that harsh.
Okay.
Either way, somebody was going to go into the games from 12.
Well, I mean, guaranteed someone's going into the games.
Or they'll pick
12.
a random girl still.
Ooh.
Or maybe they pick Prim because they make up for the Everdeen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn.
So in the book, there's this box, which a bunch of quarter quell envelopes.
Yes.
And you get this idea that somebody literally sat down and planned every 25 years this special quarter quell. You also learn in the second quarter quell in this time of the book that there was 2 tributes. There was multiplied by 2 tributes every district. So there were 4 tributes for every district in the 50th Hunger Games.
So 48 total.
Which is the Hunger Games that Haymitch won. We'll talk more about that in the next episode.
Well done to him.
So the 75th Hunger Games envelope said that. In the film, you kind of get a sense that Snow planned this, that Snow wrote this in. I don't know if I like that.
I didn't.
Because it turns it from a random, like, ooh, this fixes Snow's problem a bit, to a, this becomes something. I also think if I was President Snow, I wouldn't want this because I feel like this causes more rebellion.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think it was a good choice. Like, I liked the ambiguity of it. So, because, like, what I have here is that it makes, like, they made it seem in the book like pulling the old victors in the games to be part of the Quell was ambiguous, and it was just pure luck that this is going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Whereas they showed them planning this Quell, and I don't like that as much.
No, I think it's more fun if it's like, this is just random happenstance.
I like the random happenstance. I like the, hey, we don't know what's going to happen either. Let's find out.
Yeah. So, also to be clear, something that they don't touch on in the film, this announcement is supposed to happen after another segment that everyone had to watch of Katniss trying on her wedding dresses. Because another thing President Snow has implemented is the Capitol gets to vote on her wedding dress to Peeta. Because the wedding is really important to the Capitol. Which in the film, it's less so. It's less apparent. We'll get to talking about why it's a little weird that they kind of skipped over this bit in the second part. But yeah, so they announced the Quell. But the outset is the same. We know that Katniss Everdeen, the girl who was on fire, or the girl who is on fire, is going back into the games because she's the only living female tribute in District 12. So the end of the first part is we know Katniss Everdeen is going to have to go back into the Hunger Games.
On that lovely note, thanks for watching. Come back next week. We'll talk about these games. See ya.
We love you guys. Bye.
Hello, and thank you so much for listening to this episode of Flip the Scripts. Flip the Scripts is created, hosted, and produced by Ankit Madhira and Stephen Nieman. Our editor is Sebastian Hollich. The art is by Kshitija Madhira, and the music is by Sebastian Hollich. If you liked the video, you can click to listen to the next part, or if it's not out yet, you can find one of our previous episodes.
Or if you want to check out some of our other content, here's a fun video from another one of our shows.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, comment, and hit that bell icon to get notified of all of our content when it releases.
Subscribe to our Patreon if you want bonus content.
Links to all of our social media and Patreon are in the episode description down below.
Thank you for supporting our content. Come back next week for more shenanigans from Co-op Forge.
New episodes for Flip the Scripts release every Friday, Seattle Across the Pond every other Thursday, and post finale every Wednesday. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Bye now.